Hey guys, it's me Simo Orahara, and in this video we'll talk about an amazing answer from Kubo regarding Ichigo, which could have significant implications. And this answer guys might hint at connecting the world of Burn the Witch with the original story of Bleach. And Kubo's answer guys provides a chance to discuss the common points between the events of Burn the Witch and Bleach, as well as what might happen if Kubo were to create a crossover chapter between the two worlds. And so the question posed by a fan was about the fact that Ichigo's job is a translator, specifically translating between Japanese and English. And so during his career did Ichigo ever study abroad to deepen his understanding of the foreign language? Kubo replied by saying that Ichigo studied in England. And this answer guys, as I mentioned, reveals a lot about the potential connection between Burn the Witch and Bleach. That's why guys, let's break it down in detail. First of all guys, Kubo's new story, Burn the Witch, takes place entirely in two locations, Front London and Reverse London, and naturally London is the capital of England. And what's more important is that the events of Burn the Witch are set within the Bleach universe, to the western branch of the Soul Society. Meanwhile, the events of Bleach, specifically the setting of the Goto 13 and the Shinigami, take place in the Eastern Soul Society. And thus, both Bleach and Burn the Witch share the same foundational world, the Soul Society. However, each branch has its own unique traits, alongside some similarities. Because while Kubo delved deeply into the eastern branch in Bleach, which is centered in Japan, the western branch offers a new perspective. For example, we know that the Shinigami in eastern branch live in the Serigi, while most human world events occur in Karakura town. In Bleach, the Shinigami, especially in the first episodes, are portrayed as having a primary duty of fighting Hollows. And also at the start guys, Hollows seemed like monsters that attacked humans and souls. It was also established that most humans couldn't see Hollows, and only a select few exceptional humans like Forbrings and Quincy's were aware of the Soul Society. In the opposite guys, the events of Burn the Witch reveal that those with authority, similar to the Shinigami in Bleach, are the witches. However, witches don't deal with Hollows, but instead with dragons. In the past, as it said in this page, 72% of human deaths were caused by rampaging dragons, and this led to the emergence of witches who had the ability to stop these dragons and control their numbers. And the headquarters of the witches is located in the western branch of the Soul Society, in exactly Reverse London, and their organization is called Wingbind, which could be considered their version of the Goto 13, and the organization is divided also into multiple squads. However guys, it's not entirely clear whether the members of Wingbind are souls or simply unique humans. For example, the main characters we've seen like Noel, Nini and Balgo are humans living in Front London, but are capable of crossing into Reverse London to work there, and I'm speaking specifically about Noel and Nini. And if we dig deeper guys into the comparison, we'll find a vast difference between the Serigi and Reverse London. Reverse London man appears far more advanced and civilized. It is exactly a mirror of Front London, with the key difference being that its inhabitants are aware of the dragons, and the headquarters of Wingbind is located there. And not to mention that the witches use techniques similar to Kido, relying on magical power instead of spiritual power as in Bleach. But now the question guys is, could Kubo one day connect the two worlds despite these significant differences in species and the structure of each world? Honestly, only Kubo had the answer to this. Hopefully, since he mentioned that Wingbind exists in the Western Soul Society, he has a clear explanation for the potential relationship between the Eastern and Western branches, as well as the connection between Hollows and dragons. I mean, is there even any knowledge shared between the Goto 13 and Wingbind? These are all valid questions. At the same time guys, there is a hint that Kubo might give us a special chapter where events involve a character crossing into the other world. The evidence lies in Kubo's answer that Ichigo went to England to study English. Because we know from the start of the story, Kubo hinted that Ichigo has a love for English literature. From the very first volume, Kubo mentioned that Ichigo's most respected figure is William Shakespeare, and this aligns with Ichigo choosing to study English literature at university after graduating from high school. The question now, guys, is what year exactly did Ichigo go to England? The events of Burn the Witch take place 12 years after the end of the war against Yuabach, the same year the Hell Arc events occur. And in Rokia's novel, which its event happened 3 years after the war against Yuabach, it's mentioned that Ichigo was attending university. And this means Ichigo could have traveled to England during his university studies, or after graduation, as long as it happened before the events of Burn the Witch and the Hell Arc. And not only that, but Ichigo might have visited London specifically, considering his admiration for William Shakespeare, a figure who spent much of his life in London. Ichigo could have visited the city and encountered an event tied to the world of Burn the Witch, and this could serve as the foundation for Kubo to link the two worlds. Also, guys, let's not forget about Noelle. She originates from Japan, but she has never been there, and this opened up the possibility of her visiting Japan and discovering the Eastern Soul Society. However, guys, if such crossover happens, it's more likely to be centered on Ichigo, in my personal opinion, especially since it's already established that he's been in England before. Also, guys, in my personal opinion, I wouldn't mind if there's no connection at all or a major crossover between the two worlds. Yes, they're part of the same universe, but it's better to fully explore each world on its own without forcing a connection that might disrupt the flow of both stories. And also, guys, as much as I'm so excited to watch and see the fourth core of Bleach anime, I'm equally eager to see something new from Kubo, whether it's the Hell Arc or even more of Burn the Witch, which has plenty of potential and room to grow. But in the end, everything is in Kubo's hands right now, and he knows where his creativity can shine the most. But you know, as a fan of Bleach, I want more Bleach, especially since we have a lot to see, we have a lot to discover, whether about the fourth core, whether about the Hell Arc. But in the end, I love everything from Kubo, since he's my favorite mangaka. So guys, what do you think about the answer of Kubo? Can we see one day a crossover between the two worlds, Burn the Witch and Bleach? Tell me guys your opinions in the comments, and see you in my next video.